Well, thank you for being here this morning. We just concluded a very successful special political conference with our special guest, President Donald J. Trump. He was warmly welcomed by the House Republican Conference. We are 100% unified behind his candidacy and are ready to get to work on behalf of the American people to secure the border, unleash American energy independence, bring back peace through strength, stand up for election integrity, and defeat this illegal weaponization of the justice system. It was a unifying event, and I'm grateful to the president for answering questions from our colleagues today. I want to turn it over to our NRCC chair, Richard Hudson.
So that was Elise Stefanik talking about what a wonderful meeting that Republicans had with Donald Trump and how they're more unified behind him now than ever. So really what they're doing is telling us exactly who they are and what they're all about when they would unite with a convicted felon like Trump while meanwhile calling themselves the rule of law party. I want you guys to take a look at this next montage of clips of how elated they all are that Trump is there and how that they're trying to really do damage control at this point. This is what this really is. This is them doing damage control because they're stuck with a convicted felon, and they're attempting to normalize it with bullshit like this. Take a look.
Donald Trump speaking on Capitol Hill. He just met with senators, had a business roundtable earlier this morning as well. He'll be talking about his legislative plan and his agenda. And as you can see here, we're going to listen in to a standing ovation.
He was funny. He was joking around constantly with everyone. He was really sweet to me. He said to Speaker Johnson, he goes, "Okay, you got one more seat. You need to be tougher." He saw me. I was sitting back a little ways. He saw me in there and he was like, "Hello, Marjorie." He's always so sweet and recognizes me.
And you know what Trump meetings are like. He's electric. He's got an incredible fastball. And I think that was just exciting after all he'd been through, how strong this man is. I've never seen someone be able to take all the heat that he's taken and come in there ready to lead. It took him about 2 minutes. I thought of you when he said this. Drill, baby, drill.
Yes.
Yes.
He said very complimentary things about all of us. We had sustained applause. He said, "I'm doing a very good job." I mean, we're grateful for that.
He cares about customer experience. He cares about what people are experiencing. And then that feeds into his thinking. I mean,
what I would say today about the Senate engagement with President Trump, he was the team captain, and we were glad he was leading us. Everybody in that room is dying for him to get back in office. He wants us to win the Senate so we can put judges on the bench. He talked about him helping us. It was the single best meeting I've ever seen between the United States Republican senators and President Trump.
I love how Marge is like, "Oh, he noticed me. He noticed me." She had the fangirl out. And of course, Lindsey Graham's like, "Yeah, he talked about what he was going to do for us." Yeah, I'm sure you all talked about what you would do for each other and not the American people, because they're not for the American people anymore. And one person that never really was, in my opinion, ever for any of us, was Mitch McConnell, who the day before this meeting said that, yeah, he would support Trump, even though he told us that Trump was practically and morally responsible for January 6th. Well, he's the nominee. I'll get behind him. Take a look at this.
Should we continue the tradition?
We should. Tomorrow you're going to the NRC. First time. You haven't spoken to Trump since December 2020, from what we understand. Do you plan to confront any of the bad blood between the two of you, or any of the issues you had, including over January 6th?
You know, I said 3 years ago, right after the Capitol was attacked, that I would support our nominee, regardless of who it was, including him. I've said earlier this year, I support him. He's earned the nomination by the voters all across the country. And of course, I'll be at the meeting tomorrow.
And what's so funny about all of this is the dust hadn't even settled on their little powwow before Trump said that Milwaukee was a horrible city. Milwaukee, where they're going to be hosting the RNC. So now Republicans are already, after the little meeting, they're already having to go to bat and try to defend him. And what is so comical about this next clip is Mike Johnson's like, "Well, I didn't hear it, and I was sitting right beside him." And then Trump basically says, "Yeah, that's what I said. Take a look."
Can we just settle one thing once and for all here? Did President Trump, it's been attributed to him that he took a shot at Milwaukee. Did he do that?
No, I didn't hear it, and I was sitting right next to him.
Democrats are also hitting you on this comment that you made about Milwaukee, the host city for the RNC, for the convention, and they seem to believe that you said that it was a horrible city. Can you just nip this in the bud and clarify what you meant?
Well, I think it was very clear what I meant. I said we're very concerned with crime.
You know what, folks? I love that they're stuck with him, and I actually love that they're unified around him. You may think I'm crazy, but I'm really glad that they've all unified around him, and I'll tell you why. They have told us exactly who they are. The party of morals and values accepted a man who had none. The party that talks about responsibility sits back while he never takes responsibility for anything. The party that talked about accountability thinks that everyone should be held accountable but him. The party that talked about pulling yourself up by the bootstraps is perfectly okay with a guy that's daddy gave him a small loan of $1 million and never worked an honest day in his life. The party of we're patriots and we love this country sat back and watched while people raided the Capitol and he cheered it on and told them to fight like hell. So they told us exactly who they are when they met with him, when they bowed to him, and when they kissed the ring. I really thought that the Republican Party, I was holding out hope, and maybe I was naive. I was holding out hope years ago. When I watched January 6th happen, I was holding out hope that the Republican Party would turn on him at that point, that they would at least try to back up some of what they preach, but they're never going to. So don't ever hold your breath for that moment to come. They're not. They are solidly behind Donald Trump. And in doing so, they're letting us know exactly what they are solidly behind. I encourage everyone to go out and find Project 2025. I know it's long. I know it's hard to read. But read it and understand what they want to implement if he's put back in power. They want to turn the reins of power over to someone like him, and women's rights and everyone else's rights in this world can go right down the drain for all they care. They do not care, because as long as he will do what they say, they're going to unify around him. And they have told us exactly who they are in doing so. So what we have to do now is rally behind President Biden, because we have to look at what Biden has accomplished for this country, and we have to look at the damage that Donald Trump has done to American politics in general, and we have to realize, hey, this isn't about the lesser of two evils. And the people that uses that statement, if you're still using that statement at this point in the game, you've completely lost the plot, okay? Because the Republican Party jumped the shark, no pun intended. They jumped the shark a long time ago. They're not even there. The Republican Party we used to face off against, they're not even there anymore. It's Donald Trump. And this isn't about the lesser of two evils. This is about a decent man who's a loving, caring father who has went to work for this country and got things done, versus a guy who damn near tore it down the first time, has done everything he could to tear it down since, and runs it down every chance he gets. Every time he has the opportunity to run down America, he does it. Because he only is about himself. That's it. He's not about anyone but himself. America can only be great if he's in charge. And what I would really love to say to all of these Republicans who are bowing and kissing his ring at this moment is, go ahead, have fun with that. Have all the fun you want with that. Because when it's over, which one of you is going to be able to step up and fill his shoes? And I really hate to even say that, because I don't even want to sound like he's got shoes worth filling. But which one of you are going to lead once he's out of the argument? Which one of you are going to lead? Because you have no new ideas. You literally have 19th century ideas, so that's what you're trying to bring back in 2024. Those ideas are not popular with the majority of the people. Those ideas are not going to resonate with moderates and independents. So which one of you is going to step up and be the cult of personality once he's gone? For whatever reason, he has it. He has it with certain people. They love him. He can do no wrong. But can Marge bounce that ball once he's gone? Can Mike Johnson step up as vanilla as he is and fill that void? So go ahead, have fun with it. Have fun defending everything he's going to say between now and the election, and everything he's going to do, and everything he's going to be found guilty of and convicted of, and all, the whole 9 yards. You guys have fun with it, because what you did was told us exactly who you are. And what we need to do is tell you and remind you exactly who we are at the polls come November.